Hey guys, veteran mechanic here. Today we're working on a 2014 GMC Sierra 1500. We're going to be installing a cold air intake today. So I'm going to be showing you how to remove the stock intake and putting on the cold air intake. And this is what we got. We got this air intake system right here, that AF Dematic. It's a very good system. I mean, we can unbox it right now too. I have this on my 2015 Camaro and absolutely love it. Does really good. I like the way it's set up. There's real no problem with setting it up. So we got our packet here with our instructions. Nice little AF sticker here, which now I messed up, but hey, whatever. And we got all our insulation wrap to go around the box for the air filter. So we'll set that off to the side. We got the intake tube. It's where your mass airflow sensor goes. That goes to your throttle body, and those two ends right there, to the left and the right. Those, you get hoses put on and they go to your intake system. So it's not a bad system. I paid, I want to say around $170 for it. A very good system. You got your adapters here, your tubing for your vacuum hoses, and then your, Jesus, I'm just going to throw everything around tonight. You got your seal here for your box for your intake. Alright. And then you got the one panel here that does this. You know, it goes for that side, and then another side here. And that boxes it off. All your bolts or everything are in this bag right here that I showed you guys earlier. And this is what I love right here, because to me, I think this is a big cone air filter. Sorry, I kind of unwrapped it already before. But here we go. Let's get that out. Look at that. I mean, that's gonna suck in some serious air. I mean, you can even see the light coming through that. I mean, that's you know, it's not a K&N, but I'm telling you, this is a very good quality cold air intake system. So, let's see if I'm missing anything else in this box of ours. Get that out of the way. Let's get that out of the way. I believe that's it. Yes, and that's it. Alright. Be back momentarily for the disassembly of the stock intake. Be back, guys. Alright guys, I'm back. Let's see here. So what we're going to need to do is undo this plug. So this red lever right here just pops up. Do you hear that click? Clicks back in, locks in, pull up, and unlocks. And then you just push this little tab here, right in there, and she unplugs. That's for your mass airflow sensor. So you just set that off to the side over there. That out of the way, and you're going to need a T15 Torx to take off these two bolts here to get your mass airflow sensor out of the way, because you need to put that in the new cold air intake. You're also going to need to do is undo 1, 2, right back here, 3, and 4. You can either use a Phillips screw or an 8mm socket. Also, you can use an 8mm socket for this, and an 8mm socket for this, right down, jeez, if I can get my finger to work right down in there. Or a flathead screwdriver, either or. I like to use a socket just because it's quicker and better. For me, anyways. A lot of people may do this differently, but for what I'm going to show you right now is this vacuum hose and this vacuum hose need to come unclipped, because that's where the new rubber hose is going to go. So what you're going to do is just push down on that, And let's switch hands here. And it just pops off just like that. And then this side, you're going to push from the bottom up. And it pops right off. Now, I know I didn't mention this before, but this motor is a 5.3 liter. So it might be different with the 6 liter or even with these newer GMCs. And I'm not sure if the Silverados have it, but I know the GMCs do. They have the 6.2 liter motor. So it might be the same, it might be different. I know on my Camaro it was different and that had the 6.2 in it, but I'm not sure with the pickup trucks. So let me set you up out of the way and we can get started with the disassembly. So, be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Let's hope to God I don't get in the way too much, but let's start getting that cold air intake out of the way. So, do that there, get that off. And get this off. There we are. And there you go. Cold air intake's out of the way. You just set that off to the side. I got a magnet tray where I can put my nuts and bolts in. So now let's undo the straps for the intake itself. Or what they like to be called is hose clamps. Either or, whatever which way you want to call them. Doesn't matter. Everybody does, like again, does things differently and says things differently. So, there we are. It's done. And being that both those vacuum lines are unplugged, you just pull it off. Pull this section off. Come on. There we go. And there. It's out of your way. I'm just going to set that off to the side. And we're going to start with the box where the air filter is. Now, I'm going to do the 2 top bolts first, just because this is the extension I got on right now. I have a longer one to get to the bottom ones, but we'll just do this real quick. You don't have to take these out all the way. Should just come undone just like that. If I stop hitting my truck, it'd be great, but you know, here's what it is. Never said I was perfect, but hey, that's why we're here today. There we go. Now I'm going to swap out extensions real quick. There we are. And now let's get this guy down here. There we are. And let's get this one right here. Looks like we're in business. So let's pop this up out of the way. Looks like this one needs to be undone a little more. There we go. Okay. Oh, look at that. There we go. Just pull that clamp that goes into this hole. Just pull that out. That's easy enough to do. And there we are. Just as simple as that. And that's out of the way. Again, set that off to the side and take the air filter out. Now, I just got this truck not too long ago and I've only put like 1,000 miles on it. So let's see what the air filter looks like. Oh, wow. That is a pretty brand new air filter. Wow. Well, the other one's going to be better. Again, off to the side. Back at it. Now let's see what we need to do to get this out. Which, if I remember right, it's just clipped in off to the side here on the passenger side. Here, let me take it back down. You got a clip here and a clip here. And I'm pretty sure where these two are, it's just fingers that sit into a rubber grommet. Same with down in here, right there. So, let's find out. Let me set you back up. And let's do that. So let's first see about popping it. Oh boy, wow, she's in there. Okay, undo that first. There we are, popped off. And about she comes. And I'm actually going to be taking this out of the way as well, because we're not going to be needing it. So, out of the way. Let's see. Yep, up out of the way. And there we go. There. So, we have everything up out of our way. Now, you know, us men don't like to consult with the instructions, but from time to time I like to, just to make sure I'm doing things right. But before I do that, I'm actually going to undo the rest of these vacuum lines, just to get them up out of the way. Now again, it's the same thing as the top. You push it in, pull it out, and there you go. It's right there. Set it off to the side, because who knows, I might be getting rid of this stock intake, I might not. But I might just keep it for if I decide to get rid of this truck and get another one. So let's move you over to this side. And we'll do this one. So again, push in, pull up out, and there you go. There. Now, everything's good. Everything looks good. I don't see any significant problems with the belt, just because, you know, I got it off. And I mean, she's not loose. I know she twists a little bit, but I consider that a healthy belt. Good for another 200,000. Just kidding, guys. But no, everything looks good. I think I'm going to consult with the instructions, and I will be right back. Alright guys, so we're back. What you're going to do is these 3 bolts right here, which is an Allen key about yay big. I'd tell you the size, but I'm blind as a bat. I can't see what that size is. So, sorry. Unfortunately, you're going to have to try to figure it out for yourself. But for the heat shield that goes on this box for the air filter, it's going to lay down, which you'll have holes punched out for the bolt holes that go for where the coupler is on your air filter. Okay, so it'll go roughly like that, and then this one over here will go roughly like this. You're going to want some room for where the bolt holes go through, because they screw into this side, the 1, 2, and 3. So what I want to do is I want to leave some kind of spacing up around this lip, just because we're going to have this, which is the weather stripping that goes on top of the box. So you're going to want at least, I'd say, a ½ inch from the top. Just a rough guesstimate. I could be wrong, could be less than that, but we'll go with ½ inch. And that's what you're going to need to go around the top of it, so when the hood shuts, it will seal it up and just allow it to suck air through that hole and the bottom. And it avoids all the heat from the engine bay, hence the reason cold air intake. So I will get back to you guys once I get this together, and I'll show you before I put anything else together on this truck on what this will look like, and hope you like it. Alright guys, this will be the result of bolting these two together. I'll bring you right back once I get the heat shield put on them. So bear with me for a moment. Your time will be a second, mine will be a few minutes. Be right back. Alright guys, so that's what it's going to look like once you get your heat shield put on your box for your air filter. So now what we're going to do is take out 1, 2, 3, so we can install it onto the airbox, which goes here, there, and then obviously right here. So let me put you up into place and we can get started on this assembly of the new box. All right, let's set you up just like that, possibly. Let's see here. There we go. All right, we're good to go. All right, so let's take you out. Let's take this out of the way. No need to have that in our way. And off to the side it goes. Okay, so let's keep getting this out of the way. All right, into the magnet tray, onto the second one. Alright, second one in the magnet tray, and then this one right here. Alright, that put there. Okay, there we go. And the magnet tray goes, and then this will sit right down in here, just like that. Okay, bring you back in a second. All right, guys, so we got it bolted in. Now we're getting ready to put the air filter on. So what we're going to do is, we got these Allen keys here. Once I get these lined up, there we go. Tighten that up. Sounds like my buddy Rob's here. But let's get this last one on, and I'll let you know. Let's get this lined up here. Come on now. And there we go. Let's do that. Come on now. Get in there. You know you wanna. Come on. So, once I get this lined up, guys, I will be momentarily with you, because apparently I can't find a hole. No pun intended. If anybody's wondering who that was my brother. Figured he'd probably stop by. But I am still fighting for this hole, because, you know, that's just what happens. There we go. I got the hole. Alright, so for the Allen keys for that, that's going to be what is an H4. I don't know if you guys can see that. There you go. Right there. H4. I like to use the sockets. It's just easier to tighten them up, obviously, because you got lock washers on there and everything else. So, tighten this up. There we are. Now let's just give it a little poker torque with the ratchet. Tight's tight, too tight's broke. That's all you need to remember, because, you know, it's all about feel. And I'm pretty sure there's torque specs out there for it, but it's all about feel for me. I've done it long enough. There we go. All right. Now, once I get the intake tube from here to here and the weather stripping on, I will bring you guys back. All right. See you in a few. All right. So, guys, I'm back. I got the tube installed. I got the coupler on here and here tightened up. Got the tube ran. I also got the mass airflow sensor, which, yes, I know I called it a cold air intake before, but that's the mass airflow sensor, which, to be honest, right now, I'm actually just going to plug it right in so I don't forget it again. So, we're going to plug you right in and lock that down. There you go. And let's make sure that's out of the way, which, look at that, out of the way. Perfect. Okay. So, I also have the rubber hose cut for this side, which I still have to tighten up this, and still have to tighten up this. And then, obviously, for this side, too, I got to tighten up this hose clamp, and then this hose clamp right here. I also had to put a coupler on here. We had another coupler that was a different size, and it was this one right here. Okay. I'm going to go with, and I could be wrong, so don't kill me in the comments, but I'm going to go with this is for a bigger throttle body to the cold air intake, because the smaller end fits the intake tube. The bigger end does not fit the throttle body. So I'm going to go with, this is probably like a, don't shoot me if I'm wrong, but a BBC throttle body, if I remember that right, which is a bigger bore, allows more air to come in through, you know, it's an aftermarket piece. But don't shoot me if I'm wrong. But, yeah, we're not using this. And yes, I just threw that because that's me. Anyways, so let me sit you up. Let me tighten up all this stuff. Almost said, you know, poop word. But let me tighten up this stuff. Get all that tightened up. And let me put on the weather stripping onto here. And before I start that, the weather stripping is supposed to go down through here. In my personal opinion, I'm going to start at this right here and then go all the way around, all the way to here and stop. The reason why I'm doing that is I have the electric fans here, which are going to be throwing air to the motor to cool that down. The reason why I'm doing that and why I'm leaving this open is because of the air being thrown into the motor. It's going to seep through here, through this gap, and allow it to get sucked in through here. So I'm not just relying on this hole here and that one down there. It just gives it that much more, to me, again, cold air to suck into the engine, and it's just more cold air. Plain simple. I know it sounds stupid and I ramble, but that's just me. So anyways, let me set you up and let's get going. Alright, let's see, right about there. Alright, so I'm going to try not to get in the way, but let's tighten this stuff up. Now remember, this and this is already tight, so is towards the air filter. So I don't need to worry about this. I've already double checked, triple checked myself. It's just what I do. I'll sit there and mumble to myself like tight, 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 blah, 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 blah. But that's just what I do to double check myself. Trust me, I made plenty of mistakes and messed up a lot of things to learn and to know what I know now. So, enough said. Let's just get this all tightened up and ready to go. So. There's one. Let's loosen up that a little bit. There we go. There's two. Now, you can wrap these with electrical tape. I wouldn't do that on this, just because it's, when you open your engine bay, you're going to see electrical tape on it. It's just going to look gaudy, and in my personal opinion, it's just not going to look good. So I would much rather leave it like this, because then if it does loosen up, I can just retighten it real quick. I ain't got to undo the electrical tape. But also, electrical tape with heat peels over time. So why deal with electrical tape just flopping in the breeze when I could just leave it and it could still look like this? I just try to bend down these tabs just as much as I can. It ain't gotta be perfect, but you know what, it looks better to me without electrical tape. So let's get over to the driver's side here and tighten this side up. Let's make sure that this hose is all the way down, which, if you guys didn't know, there's a lip on this metal finger here that goes to the valve cover. You just push the hose down to that, and then what I try to do is try to find the happy medium in between that hose and the metal finger, which, of course, you know, I just had to drop the hose clamp. There we go. Let's find that happy medium, which is right about there. Okay, let's tighten you up. Now, you don't want to go too tight because you could potentially strip out the hose clamp. I normally do this by hand, but I like playing with this new tool that I've had for a couple of months now, but I haven't really had much use for it. But I knew it would come in handy at some time, and it just happened to be right now that it comes in handy. So, all right, off to the passenger side. And let's get this side done. Hopefully it'll be good here. Let's find that happy medium. And it looks like that's it. There we are. Put that down as much as you can. There we go. Good, good, good. Now remember, I'm going to talk to myself here for a second, just to reevaluate everything. So, tight, tight. I know you can't see it on camera. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just going over the rubber grommet that's closer to the air filter box. Mass airflow sensor's tight. And again, I know I called it a cold air intake. I got too excited about this. But mass airflow sensor's tight. And then electrical plug connector is on. Tight, tight. Both these hose clamps here are tight, tight, and tight. Okay, so now it's onto the weather stripping, which I'm going to slide you over this way for, and we'll get that done. Sorry for the inconvenience and noise, if that made any, but let's get that done. Alright, here we are. Okay, I don't think I'll need the step stool for that. Funny thing is, I'm not that short, guys, but I really wish I recorded the 3-inch leveling kit I did with this, because it was very nice. It's just, unfortunately, I'm doing it with my cell phone right now, and just starting off, I didn't have the equipment or the let's see here, or the means to hold the camera still while I did this. Now, all you do, again, I'm getting off topic, sorry guys, is just, you got this V-lip right here, okay? You push this seam in here, and in between this rubber is what looks like staples, is the best way I could describe it, and they're kind of pinched in to where they would grip this heat shield and hold on. So you're going to have to apply some kind of pressure to it, which I'm doing right now, and it's doing a good job, which, like I said, I wanted to start from here. These corners like this is going to be a little tricky. Some people just cut them. I just kind of manhandle it and try to get it down in there. Sorry if I'm not using the correct terminology, but this is just who I am. And the proper way I call certain things. So, well, I wouldn't say proper, but it's the way I enunciate certain terminology. So, we'll go with, let's just say, I think I want to go with about here. Right about this general area right here. Because again, this is going to be cooler air coming in. There's no sense of putting the weather stripping down there, because what is the weather stripping going to hit? Like, this is meant to hit the top or bottom of the hood to seal it. So really, what is it sealing off? Nothing really, so I'm just going to go with, yeah, I think I'm just going to go with about here. So I'm going to grab my 10 snips, which are over here. Alright. Sorry I'm sniffing a lot, guys. It's like 30 degrees out. May not be cold to others, but to me, it's cold. So let's go with about here. And I'm going to, there we go. I'm just going to do this, just like that. And then cut that and that. Now, you see right here, guys, what I was saying about like what it looks like staples. And if you see closely, I don't know if you can catch it on the camera, there's individual squares. It's kind of why I said it looks like staples. It's better to cut in between the bumps, but I just kind of cut halfway in between, hence the reason why I use 10 snips. So, again, not sure if it's the right way. It's the way I do it. I'm not a perfect person. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. If I was perfect, I'd probably be making millions and living on a fucking... Oh, shoot, swore. Sorry. But living on a lot of a yacht, making millions of dollars. But again, I'm probably going to slip up every once in a while with the F-bomb and the other poop word and everything else. It's again, prior military, we all we swear a lot. So sorry if that offends you. I'm gonna try to not offend anybody, but I'm here to just teach, and that's just what I'm here for, guys. Just here to teach. You can teach me some few things too with, you know, the comments you guys leave. And you might have better advice on what I do. You might not agree exactly with everything I do, but I'm trying to make good content for you guys, and this is something I just started out doing. So don't butcher me too much. Just give me some advice if I need to change anything. If not, if you like what you hear and you like what you see, I'll keep it going. In future videos, though, I do have a Mazda 6 that I have an extensive amount of work to do. I have valve cover gaskets, intake gaskets, a new flex pipe to put on it, an upper control arm, a couple of those, a tie rod end, a lower control arm, and some brakes to do on. So I have more content. I just, as of right now, this is what I wanted to give to you guys, and I wanted to see what your feedback was. Did you like what you saw? Would you like me to change anything? just like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you thought. I am definitely all ears on hearing what you have to say, but remember, I'm new at this. I'm not used to talking while I work. I'm used to listening to music while I work, so this is definitely throwing me off for a little bit, guys. And girls. Sorry, I keep saying guys. It's just force of habit. But anyways, I'm rambling. Have a good one. This is your veteran mechanic here. I do what I can, teach what I can, and that's all I promise. All right, guys. Have a good one. See ya.